Hi and welcome to this week's energy forecast. I'm Rachael Thompson-Phillips. This week's energy forecast is for June the 8th through till June the 14th, with the overall theme being soul searching. Let's go in and examine where these beautiful divine messages come through in the Oracle cards. Monday and Tuesday is the card of soul. Wednesday through till Friday is the card of strength. And the weekend's energy message through the card is the card of clairvoyance. Now, with Monday and Tuesday being the card of soul, this is the moment to just take a little step back and observe where is it that you are channeling all your energy and have forgotten your own self. The soul card is about asking you to reconnect to that soulful place that ignites your passion, that strengthens your intuitive information, which is communication from your soul, and feel ignited from within rather than trying to look externally from other people or other situations to reconnect to yourself. This is the moment that you can give this gift to yourself. Whenever this card appears, it usually can be quite an indication of spending so much time inside of your own head, also being emotionally charged, and have forgotten that most powerful place to receive any divine information that it is that you want, and that comes directly from your soul. And when you reconnect to your soul, that's where you start to shine. That's where you start being reconnected to your truth. You are in that contemplative time of observing what lies and BS have you been allowing yourself to tune into, or have been allowing them to govern the direction of where you go and the choices and decisions that you make, and are they in alignment with that soulful version of self? This card is a beautiful reminder as we lead towards Mercury Retrograde, which is on June the 18th through till July the 12th. Mercury is the planet of communication, so it's usually the time that people freak out a little bit, because through this time it does really make people a lot more sensitive. All forms of communication can be a lot more challenging, along with travel as well. It's also a time where we need to be a lot more thoughtful of the words that we say, and also know that through the words that we do say, there is a truth to them, and can sometimes be the way that we express them that can be the hurtful thing, and it also gives us insight into things where we felt like we haven't been able to speak our truth now comes out. But it can, if you're not careful, it can come through in a really harsh and hurtful manner. So it's really important to be really mindful of how you articulate what you're trying to communicate. And so therefore, there is this moment where your soul is requesting to go in and start asking those questions. Where is it that you might be lying to yourself? Where is it that you have been holding on to a story, an excuse, a reason, a justification to why you haven't been able to pursue something, and have allowed yourself to buy into that, and using that as the whole reason why you can't be, do, or have whatever it is that you want. Mercury is a beautiful time where I call it the truth seeker. It's where the truth bombs come out, where we start exploring our limitations, but also get full review of all of your strengths as well, because they become so incredibly heightened at this time. So the soul card is asking you to go in and start doing that soul-seeking journey of unlocking what are your untruths. As we know, the journey in life isn't about how much knowledge we acquire. It's about having a look at all of the layers of knowledge and information that we have obtained along our journey that have become limiting beliefs that are holding us back. And now this is this very important moment where you get to review them and ask yourself, do you actually believe them to be true? As we remove those illusions, as we see through the veils from the lies and the deceit that we have incurred along our journeys, through the stories that we tell ourselves, we start to unlock a new level of truth that you get access to. And this is where Monday and Tuesday gives you this beautiful portal to start actually reviewing where is some of these stories, do you believe them to be true? And if not, then what are you going to do to surrender and let them go so that your soul can shine? And as you can see, as we lead through to Wednesday through to Friday, the Strength card, this is one of my most favorite cards because this is the card that I wanted to call Spunk. Because my interpretation when I designed this card was that the more that we draw closer to accepting all parts of self, this is where we start to radiate our own spunk. As you know, we all have our own frequency and our own vibration. Our energy communicates who we are before we even open our mouths to speak. So as you can see with Monday and Tuesday, reviewing those limitations and those beliefs that have been holding you back and asking if you consider them to be true, you can see that by Wednesday through till Friday, we start to see that we are letting those old beliefs fall away. And this is that moment where you step in and you make that conscious decision, because as I mentioned also with Monday and Tuesday, we also unlock our strengths. So we start to see that strength emerging with our own self, where we can come to that beautiful place. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say every time you ask a belief, is it going to be true or untrue? Only you will know what the answer is. But it's about accepting what beliefs it is that you want to take forward with you. And only you can answer that question of whether you see them as your beliefs. Are they part of your belief? What's the word? I'm not going to say cycle. They're part of your beliefs that you navigate through. And when you understand what your beliefs are, then you also understand what you value. You also understand parts of your own self. You start to emerge a much more stronger, accepting version of self, because you have the capacity to go, this is who I am, and I really love who I am. And when you step into that place, there's a confidence that radiates internally and out into the world. And this is this beautiful emerging moment for yourself, because you have left some of those layers of self that have been holding you back, that have been weighing you down, and the load has become lighter, and your light starts to shine more vibrantly out there into the world. Your shoulders sit back, your heart is open, you have the capacity to really go on the journey of loving every part of who you are. And that is where your strength is, when you come to a place of acceptance. And that requires the journey of going within and seeking out your soulful truth. Therefore, when we come through to the beautiful energy of the weekend, being clairvoyance is about seeing all the signs and synchronicities that show up to support this beautiful inner work that you've done. Those signs and synchronicities also allow the right people and the right divine timing to unfold, where the right people turn up. Beautiful new opportunities and possibilities start presenting itself, because you're in that more confident zone of being able to accept all parts of yourself. We start seeing signs and synchronicities that let us know that we're on the right track. These are all beautiful ways in where our cosmic team is consistently working with you, and you can no longer deny or choose to do this pathway on your own. If you've been following me for a while, you would have always heard me use a hashtag called "You don't have to do this journey alone." This week is a beautiful, significant message reminding us of that connection to our cosmic team, the role that we play. Your soul and the universe are an active, willing participant in your journey to help support you along your way. But if you, the human part within your own self, doesn't actively participate, your soul and the universe can bring these things into your awareness, support you. But if you choose to deny that or push it away or bury it, then you're only making the journey more difficult than what it is required. And I always say, sometimes we as humans sometimes choose the hardest road to get from point A to B, but it doesn't necessarily have to be this way. So every time you see a sign or synchronicity, remind yourself that is you being the active participant in your role in the cosmic team, that you're seeing signs for the universe. So always have those beautiful moments of expressions of gratitude when you see something comes in that lets you know you're on the right track, or the right person appears, or the right information that you need. Where you access not only those externally but internally as well, where you acknowledge that you may have been holding yourself back through a limiting belief. You start believing and seeing the signs of your confidence because you start taking different actionable steps. You start believing in yourself. The language that you hold with your own self is vibrating a new frequency that is directly connected to the confidence within your own self, where you can be at peace with who you are, so that inner spunk can start to really radiate. These are the moments to always take a moment to give gratitude to the soul and the universe, because I tell you, it takes a lot of work for them to be able to bring these things into your awareness. And the moment that they know that you acknowledge and you see them, they'll move on to the next part of being able to reveal something to you. So it's this beautiful moment of reconnection to self, but also being that beautiful active participant in your role within the cosmic team. So I wish you an incredibly amazing week. This is your time to shine. But I also want to reiterate, with Mercury Retrograde, we also have these moments where we start to slow down. This gives us that opportunity to do that introspective work. It gives us that opportunity to reconnect to our soulful truth. It gives us that moment to considering, where are we leaking so much energy out and giving so much to others, that we can then harness and bring back in and channel it in towards the things that we want, and encourage stronger, more empowering boundaries where we learn to say yes to you. So take care. Have a fabulous week. Feel free to share this amongst all your friends and family. And as always, much love. See you guys.